Welcome to Shalom Montreal. We have with us today a very special guest. We have Mr. Andrew Harper. Good day, Mr. Harper. How
Hi.
are you?
I'm fine.
I should say, ¿qué tal? ¿Qué tal la salud?
Está muy bien.
Muy bien. Comment allez-vous?
Oh, ça va.
Ça va. As you see, he speaks many languages. Not only does he speak many languages, but Mr. Andrew Harper has had a wonderful, passionate life. So please be with us for the next half hour, and you're going to hear all the story of this wonderful gentleman, Mr. Andrew Harper. Mr. Harper, during the months of May 2018, you have made a major donation to the organization, the Shelter for Women, Chez Doris.
Yes.
And it was all over the press, and everybody mentioned it. And why did you choose to help Chez Doris?
Because they're doing a good job in trying and helping women in need. And I feel that women have been discriminated against, and I wanted to make, on a small way, my own contribution.
In a small way, it went from, at the beginning, from a negotiation for $10,000 to $1 million. It's something impressive.
Okay, I'm glad.
And when you did that, I'm sure you had someone in mind.
Well, obviously, I like to think that my wife, who I lost about 2.5 years ago, she will somehow know it and approve it.
Your
But,
dear wife, Carol Hymas Harper, who has been your wife for how many years?
61 years.
Wonderful. Nowadays, it's unusual when you see that people have a tendency to divorce and the rate of divorce is so high, but you stayed attached to your wife in a very uncommon way.
Well, 61 years, but there are people who've been married for over 70, so I'm sorry that this was not my case, because I was very much attached to her.
This program is designed to reflect all the love that you had for your wonderful wife, that you have been talking about so many times all over, and everyone knows how much you were attached to her. What was so special about her that made you so attached?
Well, Carol was a giver. She was not a taker. And in the way mankind is now, you find mostly people who always want something, they want to take, but the one who give are few and in between.
And now, when did you marry Carol? How did it happen?
Well, I married her while I was working in the United States, and then we moved to Canada. I was working for the DuPont company, or E.I. DuPont and Moore & Company in Wilmington, Delaware, because I came to Canada as a U.S. citizen from the United States.
Prior to that, you have traveled extensively. Why? Because Mr. Andrew Harper is originally from Romania.
Right.
So tell us a little bit about how many countries you went through, and this is what you are, a polyglot. You speak so many languages because you traveled a lot.
I speak a few languages because my parents, they wanted to give me and my younger brother a good education, and they felt languages is one way to do it, because few people speak Romanian, like I was born in Bucharest, Romania.
After Romania, where did you go and how did you move around the world?
Well, I left with my brother in 1940. It was a very difficult time in those years in Romania and in Europe, because Nazi Germany was spreading their evil all over, and they also entered Romania, which they occupied. Unfortunately, the Romanian government at that time was collaborating with the Nazis, the Germans, and it was frightful. So I was happy to leave in 1940 with my brother. My parents worked at it hardly, and you know, there's corruption there. With some money, you were able to leave. And 1 year later, my parents left too.
Where did you go from Romania?
I went with my brother to what was at that time called the Mandate of Palestine. And I was admitted there to the Hebrew University, but I didn't speak Hebrew, so it was difficult.
And from there, how long did you stay in Palestine at the time?
I would say we stayed a few months, but I don't know exactly, 4
right.
or 5 or 6.
Okay, and from there?
From there, my brother, my younger brother and I, we went to India, to Bombay. We flew from, I believe it was, Tel Aviv. We flew to Bombay. We stopped over in some place in Iraq, which was so hot. And oh yeah, it was Basra. It was so hot there, we couldn't sleep all night. Mind you, at that time we didn't have air conditioning as yet.
Why did you choose to go to Mumbai at that time? Why that place? Any specific reason?
Because we were escaping from danger, and that was the possibility to go to India. And from there, we took a boat, a US boat, to go to Havana, Cuba, because the permits, you had to get permits.
So this is a very important step in your life once you reach Cuba.
Yes.
Tell us more about it.
About Cuba?
Please.
Well, the Cuba, with a little money, in those days, we lived very well. And it's a fact of life, I was not born poor. So there were funds available to sustain us during the war. My parents also joined.
But more so, you stayed there and you studied.
Yes, I studied because we wanted to come to the United States, but there was difficulty in getting visas. You had to wait a long time. And therefore, while staying in Havana, I had a good time there, and I was also studying at the Havana Business College and also the University of Havana. And
you got a degree from there?
I got a degree from the University of Havana, yes, but I had to go back for my degree.
All right.
after I left.
So from Havana, you made it to Miami? You were able to?
Yes, to the University of Miami. And then I was drafted into the U.S. Air Force, or U.S. Army Air Force.
And apparently, you even worked for the counterintelligence,
Yes, they put me in counterintelligence.
which is the CIA now.
Yes, which was the CIA. But I was not a spy. No.
You were a former CIA agent.
Yeah, I did paperwork.
Very good. So here we are. You got a degree from Cuba. You got another degree from Miami. So which degrees did you hold?
Well, I went after I left the Army Air Force. I went to Columbia University in New York City, where I studied, and they gave me credits for my studies in Havana, and I was able to get a Bachelor of Science degree in Business Administration after 1 year of study.
And did you get an MBA also?
I went back to Cuba and I got an MBA, a Master of Business Administration in the Spanish language and Latin American affairs.
So now here we are. You are in New York. You got married in New York, and then you decide to move to Canada?
I believe I got married in Canada.
Ah,
Yeah.
and your wife was originally from New York also?
My wife, Carol, was born in New York City, and she also has a degree in business administration, but from New York University.
And what was her role in your business and your matters? What did she do?
Well, she came to help me have my own business because I wanted to see if I'll be successful or not. My father objected. He felt I should have stayed with DuPont and have a quiet life, and he would leave us some money. But I decided
To
not
do
to
otherwise?
to go on my own.
Very good. So here you are. You decide to come to Canada, and you started a business. What was the name of that business, that company?
The name was A. Harper Associates, later incorporated.
And what was this company doing?
The company turned out to be an importer of fine foods, including chocolates, biscuits, and we developed quite an extensive line of souvenir tins, metal souvenir tins that came with toffees or candies from England and from France.
And during all that time, your dear wife, Carol, was next to you, helping you in the business, taking care of the administration.
Yes, she took care of the administration, and I was mostly in sales with the salesman.
So you used to travel a lot.
I used to travel a lot through Canada, but also going to Europe on purchasing.
And you had the opportunity of going through many countries in Europe at the time.
Well, it was mostly Central Europe. That means France, Germany, Belgium, Holland.
Tell us more about this family, your parents, because you spoke of your father and mother, and you said that, thanks God, you came from a wealthy family.
Yeah, well-to-do family. It's a fact of life. I'm neither particularly proud of it or ashamed. So I used the best I could to get a good education and to be able to help people in need.
This is an important point that you are bringing out now, is that your dear father used to tell you something about helping other people. There is a special way he used to tell you. Can you refresh our memory?
Yes, I'm trying to. He said, always try to help somebody in need, and you will see God will also help you in whatever you are doing or undertaking.
What a wonderful advice.
Yeah.
And this, you applied it in life. We can see how much help you bring now to all the organizations that are in need.
Yes.
Which ones do you like to help? What kind of organization you like to help specifically?
Well, an organization like MADA, who I understand the organization, which organization is helping people to nourish them, have meals. And that my wife and I were very much impressed by that. We always discussed of helping people in need so they are not hungry.
And this is something you keep on doing up until now, because recently you have contributed not only to Chez Doris, but also to MADA.
Yes, to MADA, and there is also an organization here in Westmount, Shabbat, Westmount, that feeds people.
Very good. What is the message that you would give after such a wonderful life that you've had? And we wish you up until 120 in good health. What is the recommendation that you would give to the young people who would like to be successful like you were?
Well, they should also try to help people in need if they are not in need themselves, and have charitable acts. But everybody, I believe, is different, so they will have to make their own decision.
But if a young man is watching us today and he's looking at you and he's in admiration because you are now 96 years old, which is wonderful and in good shape and successful in life, what would you say should he do in order also to make it?
Well, it depends on his talents, because some people, like my brother, they were very good with mathematics and engineering. I didn't have such abilities. I was more business-oriented. So depending on his vocation, he should try to make it successful and be able to help people in need.
One message that you would like to convey to people that are watching you today?
What message?
What message? Because you have a wonderful message that you shared with me, but I would like you to tell to our viewers today.
Well, it's the same, pretty much the same message. Try to help people in need to your ability.
You said the other day that in life, you turn around in life, you turn in circle, and What is the following sentence?
Well, no, I believe you asked me, what am I doing now? And I told you, I repeated what my father mentioned when he was my age.
Please say it.
And then he said, well, I'm just turning around and round with very little purpose in life now. When you reach to be his age, he was 95. Unfortunately, he suffered of Alzheimer's.
But you, Mr. Andrew Harper, we see you in excellent health, in good shape. We wish you all the best. And in the name of the community, we want to thank you for all the help you are giving to people. And we wish you well and keep on the good work. Thank you, Mr. Harper.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
It's been my pleasure.